Hello there. I'm on my backyard. I'm doing this from the backyard today. I like being here. It's very quiet, very close to nature. So a brother called me um, at about 9 a.m. and we talked for about 42 minutes. It was a very warm conversation. I hardly have those kind of warm conversations with people with whom we share divergent ideas. So he said he was calling to ask me why I don't believe in God. So I was surprised to hear that. So I said, brother, is it possible to or permitted to ask a question? Because when you begin a conversation, an intellectual argument, it's good to begin with the definition of terms. So I said, brother, what is God? Or who is God? Let's start from there so that we are sure of what exactly we're dealing with. So he quoted a lot from the Bible and he had some knowledge of the Quran. So he equally quoted a little bit from the Quran. I appreciated that. And after he finished describing what to him or who to him God is, I said, okay, so you're talking about the religious God. He said, yes, a good. I told him, the religious God is too limited to me. I find a lot of limitations in the religious God, which is one of the reasons why I always tell people God is far beyond the religious God. God cannot be that limited, that human. Because religion humanizes God and limits God a lot. God cannot be that. God cannot be some some limited being that is confused a lot of times, that is not omniscient. He gets stressed up. He gets so angry. He genocides populations, even including kids and unborn women. Asks for sacrifices. Asks for virgins at times. Some people will be very surprised to hear all this is there in your Bibles or in the Quran. Gives people power to eliminate populations in his name, eliminate those who think different in his name. And Christians, when they hear that, they're very happy because religion is a war, it's a political war among some keepers of knowledge. But if you go to Deuteronomy 13, it's the same thing, asking you to destroy people, do away with them who think differently and leave your religion. It's the same thing, apostasy. God cannot be that limited. God cannot be some person that is angry today, happy tomorrow. He's confused and surprised. Genesis 11, surprised that people are sinning. He comes down and sets confusion. He separates people into different languages, saying expressly that they should never be united again. So he's the source of all the genocide, the separation, the hates we have around the world. That cannot be God. So the God of religion is very limited. You need to go beyond religion to find the source, the absolute, the universal consciousness. So if it's that God you are referring to, then you're right. I cannot fully endorse that God. I asked him how much of the Tanakh he knows, he's read, he's studied. A God that makes one people his people and other people are not his people and is ready to genocide the entire world for his people, the same God of love, that's not God. That is more of a commander. You see, when people get to learn, study ancient civilizations, the things that existed before they were codified and made into God stories, you have very little problems. You would understand that God is beyond religion. Religion is not synonymous to God. God is beyond religion. Even the Christ created no religion. He came with a specific message. And it is pagans who called Christians Christians in Antioch. Acts of the Apostles, that should be Acts of the Apostles 10, I guess. God is not the author of any religion. Because if God is the author of religion, then he should be very confused, sending different messages to different sets of people, saying different sets of things, and telling them all of them are right. It's not possible. It's either one is correct and the others are wrong, or all of them are wrong and they are just pointers to the truth. So I cannot fully endorse, I told my brother, just doing a summary, a God who can genocide the entire world for just a particular group of people, who calls those people his people and the others are not his people, who sets people out to kill all those who believe differently from them, empowers people to carry out apostasy in his name. He's even referred to as a he. That is not the supreme one. The supreme one is not even a he. He doesn't have those pronouns, don't go with the supreme one. That is a topic for another day. The source of everything that came into being, the source of matter, cannot be matter. The source of matter must be an eternal force and not matter, because matter must have a source. So I cannot, I told brother, subscribe to a God who can be this limited and this human. Religion has humanized God. There are good aspects in religion, of course. There are lots of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. That's why I encourage people to read extensively, but not limit themselves to that. You need to go beyond. And when you get to know the source, you get in contact with the source, you understand how limited religion is, and you cannot claim to have absolute truth when you are in any kind of religious setting, religious sect whatsoever. Hope I made some sense. If you like our content, I always encourage you to share. And if you are new to the page, kindly hit on the subscribe button and hit on the notification button such that you'll always be informed whenever there is some new stuff here.